ToMolly.
Welcome to Friends at Gameology, hosted by MoonlightCrew.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less.
Bohnanza is the game we're going to talk about today. It's about planting beans.
German beans.
Yes, in German. Brechbohne. Very exciting. So this game is set collection and hand management. And so what you're doing is you're planting. You start off with 2 fields. They're invisible. And you can plant into them. So on the first thing you have to do on your turn is plant. You have to plant at least 1, but you can plant both. And so you do that, then you pull out 2, and then you see if you want to plant them or if you want to trade. And so this is very much a trading game as well. And so it's an interactive game the entire time because you cannot rearrange your hand. It is set in the order you pick up. And so you decide before you pick up what order you're going to do it in, and then you also decide how you're going to draw your cards. Because you can go 1 and then 2, or like this, it has to be the same the entire time no matter what you do. And so if I don't want to plant this next one, I'm going to try to trade it away before my turn to someone else. And so I'll be like, okay, well, I want this. Does everyone need this? Can you give me this? All these things. And so you're trying to manage your hand in a way that lets you get the most points, and that's pretty much it. And so whoever has most points or coins at the end wins. Simplicity versus complexity.
This game, after several plays, is simple, but at first I think it's very difficult for people to not rearrange their hand. Like, but these are the same; they should go together. And that's just the weird thing, like the very unique thing about this game. To get points, you harvest the beans, and so there's a number on the bottom that says if you harvest 2 of these Augenbohnen, which I think is a black-eyed pea, then you get 1 coin. So you keep one of the cards because there's a coin on the back, and you'll count those up at the end of the game to see who wins. This game, it is simple, though. After several plays, you will be competitive. I say after several plays because even when you understand the rules, there's a complexity to this game, but we'll come to that with strategy.
Yeah, I think this game is simple and yet not as simple as other games. And so when introducing it to new players, you just have to make sure you know the rules really well and you can stay on top of someone else rearranging their hand and not, be too involved. And so, but after several rounds, I think after several rounds of the same game, you'll get the rules just fine. But then, like Tom talked about, you might not necessarily understand how to win and how to do the strategy and be diplomatic and whatnot, but you'll get how to play your turn out just fine. And so after a couple plays, like different times of playing, you'll be competitive just fine. Luck versus strategy.
This game is lucky in what you draw because sometimes folks will draw and get exactly what they need and you don't even have a chance to trade with them. But the trading is so strategic. If somebody flips over an Augen and a Blaubohne, you can see from my hand with an Augen and 2 Blaus, I want those. What am I willing to trade out of it from the back? Would it actually behoove me to get rid of cards in the front so I don't have to plant them? And maybe I can say, hey, I can give you my Augen, and then you can give me your Blau or something. And there's just so much going on in the trades. It's very strategic. Despite the luck, this game has so much strategy.
Yeah, I would say the strategy overrides the luck because you can negotiate. Yeah, there is one card that has only like 6 of them, and so if you happen to get 2 or 3, I mean you're golden for that one at least. There's also the luck of only getting 1 when there's only 1 left because as people harvest them, they get taken out of the game, and so there's fewer and fewer of those beans in there, and so there's that luck there, but the ability to trade away things that you can see coming. I have no rote-bohnes, red beans, in the rest of my hand. I should try to give this away if I can to get something that I do have. And so I think that there's a lot of strategy when because you can negotiate and trade whatever you want. So let's get into fun versus boring. I think this game is fun. Before I get into the gameplay, I like the beans. I don't know if they thematically did the beans, but you have, like you said, I think this is a black-eyed pea, and he's punching himself, or he's in a boxing ring. He's got a black eye. That's funny. The soybean is the hippie, and the stink bean. What is it?
It stinks. Yeah,
is it a stink bean? What is a stink bean?
It's a stink bean. It's a stink bean.
It's a sawbohne, whatever that is. And so I enjoy that part. The fire bean is smoking a cigarette on fire, and so I like the theme of it. But I like the gameplay. I like the strategizing of how to trade. When am I willing to give them a really good card? And they'll give me a point. So I've tried to think about it as I'm trading a point for a point, not necessarily values. We played with people, and they're like, "Oh, that's a That's a 20. I'm trying to give you a 12 because there's number of how many cards there are. That's how valuable they are and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, okay, well, excuse my not as good 20 card for your 12. So I think about, am I giving you a point and are you giving me a point? Fair trade. I think it's a fun game.
This game is super fun. It's so strategic and it's interactive to boot. On top of that, there's a lot of strategy, and another way we didn't mention is that you can purchase a third bean field by paying 3 coins for it, which I think the fun is not doing that. I think it's fun to try to win without, but I mean, it goes both ways. We have the German version, which I think is very charming, but I think the Germans, we're huge in Germany, and I think they're watching us right now laughing at our pronunciation, and they're like Germany, German is charming. I think English is charming. I don't know if it's a weird thing. We have a little quirk, but I like these. However, if you buy the English version, it plays at a lesser player count and a greater player count because it adds more beans. But I do really enjoy this game, and the past several years when I've been playing it, I've really liked it.
Yeah.
On Board Game Geek, I would give this a 10 out of 10. I'll play this anytime. I enjoy it each time.
I would give it an 8 out of 10. I'm less quick to suggest it, but I always enjoy myself when playing, and I'll always play when suggested. Every time we get to multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away a free glitter painting of your favorite geeky thing. So make sure to subscribe now on YouTube.
Because it could be you that wins.
Bohnanza, German version. We've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.